a messy mind. Think I need to help you. I'm gonna try. Cute as hell, baby. Hotter than flames. Wanna burn together in a million ways. Now let me take the lead. Know you wanna play with me. Got secrets you might wanna see. You might wanna see. You might wanna. I know I'm not gonna regret this. Wanna get reckless, put you to the test. Yeah, I know I'm not gonna regret this. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless.
Alright guys, so I'm down here at my local Polaris dealer. I'm down in Bozeman, Montana. I'll put the description below, all their phone numbers and all that, and the address. I'm very lucky that they allow me to do this. I got the Turbo S right here, Velocity. I've got the blue Turbo S, as well as a 4-seater Turbo S. So I'm super excited to show you guys the difference between the Turbo S Velocity, Turbo S, and the 4-seater. So we're gonna go over the 2-seaters first. We'll get to the 4-seater a little bit later. I'm gonna let you guys know the difference between the two, the similarities, and the price difference between the two. The price being right here and right here. I'm gonna tell you the difference between the two, what you get for that money. I wanna tell you guys what you should buy for each individual. There is a market for one of each, and we're gonna get to it right now. Alrighty, so right off the bat, we're gonna go to the Turbo S Velocity. As you can tell on the front, everything's painted black underneath, where the blue version, you're gonna have, painted blue accents everywhere. The Turbo S is definitely more base, as Polaris is saying. No Fang LED lights. The tires are the same. The Walker Evans shocks are probably the biggest thing on this machine. That's different. So we got Walker Evans, I think 2.5 in the front, 3.0 in the back. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. Also, both don't have cameras in the front. That's a $100 option that used to be standard, but then they take them off all Polarises now, but you can add that pretty quick and easy. Other differences, steering wheel. I did not know this when the Velocity first came out. The steering wheel is not the Sparco steering wheel. So you have a little bit different steering wheel, same gauge cluster, no ride commands, so no center display, but you can add that. Harnesses are the same, seats are the same. You don't get the full doors, so you only get a half door. And all these options you can add to the Velocity later. We've got the shocks right there. Again, same tires. You do not get a roof on the Velocity, so no roof where the Turbo S does. Working our way to the back. Same brake lights, but you do not get the third brake light, which you can add. You also do not get a camera back here. So the rear A-arms are also a feature that are different on the Velocity. They're just straight, they're not the high clearance. I'll come show you over here on the Turbo S standard. I call it the standard. You can see how they get the H-arched A-arms back here for extra clearance. So it's just a little feature that's a little different. As you can see, the camera in the back, brake light. It's a really pretty blue color too. And then we got the live valve Velocity shocks, or not Velocity shocks, sorry, Fox shocks, dynamics. Inside you get the Sparco steering wheel, same cluster display. You also do get the ride command. The seats depend on what color machine you get. These ones are blue, same seats, same harnesses. I do wish that the harnesses in both machines were on the same rock crawler edition, so they have the retractable, where these are just not retractable. And you get the roof, and the roof has a really nice seal around it, all the way around it, so there's no vibrations. And as you can see again, the blue color, suspension, and a little more premium paint to me, more than just plastic. This is just a regular plastic where up here is painted. You can add the camera up top, you get the Fang lights. Headlights are exact the same, a little darker. And a nice feature about these is, you wouldn't notice it, but inside there's a nice little touch like vehicles where they put the Razor logo in there. Just kind of a little Easter egg in there. So. Alright, so we're going to take a seat in the Turbo S Velocity. I really like this little door handle in the back. It's a lot better than Can-Am's pull handle. It's really sturdy and it shuts really nice. And it's not a lot of wiggle, not a lot of noise coming from it. Like I said, full door on the bottom. By far one of the easier machines to get into. My biggest worry about riding this machine is my left leg. I've heard that they hit on the door, and just having that little extra room to If it had 3 more inches on your left leg, it'd be a lot more comfortable, but I did have the opportunity to ride one of these. I can say after driving it, you won't even think about it. It's plenty comfy. I'm 6'2", so I'm a little taller. I do fit better in the Can-Am, but this Polaris just has just enough for me. So if you're over 6'2", say 6'5", 6'6", 7 foot, Can-Am's probably a better option for your taller needs, unless you have a custom-made interior that can pull the seat back more. For your average Joe, below 6'2", 6'3", you'll fit just fine in this machine. You have an adjustable seat down here as well. It's very nice. Plug in the floor. This machine cleans a lot easier than a Can-Am, and the designers of Polaris, they really did a really great job of making this thing easy to clean and maintain. Between the Can-Am and the Polaris, a little bit, things that I did notice is the Polaris, they use a plastic gas pedal. The Can-Am is metal. It's not a huge deal, but just little things that I notice that most people won't, and they don't really care about too much about. The steering wheel. The steering wheel is on point, phenomenal. I love it. As well as not the dynamics, but the ride command. The ride command is huge in a purchase decision. The ride command basically sells this machine on its own. So when it comes to the passenger seating, being 6'2", it's not too bad. You can put your foot in here a little bit more. They need a little bit more leg room, I feel, but it's still perfect for most passengers. Most passengers aren't going to be big, heavy dudes most of the time. It's going to be your wife or your kids. They'll do just fine in here. Another thing that I really love about the Polaris is their grab handle. It's really sturdy. It won't rattle, and it extends a really long way. And you can actually take it all out if you don't want it. Try to put this back in here for you. So that's the maximum that you can put it to yourself. So taking an even closer look on the interior, straps again, 4-point harnesses, really nice, has the middle clip on it, as well as the main clip, just like a seatbelt, really easy for people to understand and put on. I wish they were retractable, like the off-road edition. Grab handle again, really nice. Cup holders, really easy shifter, just front and backwards. You're not going to be able to, you don't have to go sideways and all that. It's really quick to go reverse, neutral, whatever you need. Floors, easy to wash out, really easy to wash out. On the bottom there, all waterproof, 2x4, 4x4. The lights, dynamics. And here's that cubby I was talking about. Really nice and deep. I don't think it's completely waterproof, but water resistant, I'd say. You do have a key. I like that this has a key, or the Can-Am has a push button start. Having a key is just so much nicer, and you feel more engaged with the machine. It's really not too tight in here. It's definitely the bar is more different than the Can-Am. If you sit, just go sit in one, and you'll understand the ergonomics of it and how they came to the decisions they made at Polaris. So getting out of the machine is also really easy. They give you a lot of room to get out in your knees. With this little curve right here, no problem getting your knees out. So now when it comes to sitting in the Velocity, it's going to be the exact same machine, exact same interior, just little different touches here and there, like the steering wheel, half doors. You can still get in it just fine. Close it just the same mechanism to close the door. Same cage. It's nice to hold on to that while you're getting in. But as you can see, it's almost a necessity to have the middle door, the lower door, to keep rocks from flying in here, especially with the tires getting out so wide. And then the steering wheel. Once you feel a spark with steering wheel on the new Turbo S, you won't want to go back to the standard Polaris wheel. So still comfortable. Still has that armrest that you can relax a little bit on. Same storage, just no ride command. They're really similar. Pretty much the same, just little things here and there. It's still easy to get out of. Alright, so moving on to which one should you buy, the Turbo S or the Turbo S Velocity? If you have an extra 25 grand, 30 grand laying around, these are probably the two machines you're looking at. We're not getting into the Can-Am right now, but this is just Polaris. They each have their own way of doing things in their own way. So the right Velocity, we're going to start with it. This is a machine, I think, my opinion, a machine for racers who want to put their own custom touch on it. They don't need the fancy dynamic suspension, and they want to tune the suspension themselves and put their own cage on it. You don't need the roof because you have to get a different roof. You don't need the GPS because in a race truck usually you're going to put your own GPS system in it. The steering wheel, they'll probably change the steering wheel out too. So the Turbo S Velocity to me is for the racers and the people who do a lot of their own modifications to their vehicle and not having to take a bunch of stuff off. That's where I think the Velocity's sweet point is. When it comes to the regular Turbo S, you can add a bunch of stuff to this one to get to this point, but if you're going to spend 25, 30 grand, you might as well spend a little extra, because even just getting the dynamics, getting the ride command display put it into the Turbo S Velocity with the mounting bracket and the display, it's going to be running around $18 to $2,000. So you might as well just spend the extra $3,000 and get to the Turbo S. So that's what I kind of think. Once you add the lights in the front, the lights in the back, the roof, I think the Turbo S is just a great deal for what you get for people like, you know, me that just ride on the weekends, like to take it out, just have a little fun, put their wife in the passenger seat. And with the dynamic suspension, it's a lot more comfortable for your wife than a lot of other machines with that comfort mode and being able to change it on the fly. So that's where I kind of think each of them lay at. If you want the Turbo S, I just think it's a better all-around deal. And if you guys are looking at buying these, I highly recommend Gallatin Recreation down in Bozeman, Montana at Four Corners. I'll put their information up here somewhere, and it'll also be in the description below. They have a lot of inventory coming in. It's still a little early, but every day their lot's getting fuller and fuller, full of stuff. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll go over the 2-seater and the 4-seater.